I'm Chris Duke, and this is Motorz. Welcome to Motorz. Today I'm going to show you how to change the oil and the cover of a rear differential on a 2000 Ford F-350 pickup truck. Now Rockcrusher hooked us up with this aggressive 10.5-inch differential cover right here, and Royal Purple supplied us some new gear oil. Now the tools you're going to need for this installation include some RTV. This is going to allow you to create a new gasket for the new cover. You're going to need a flat blade screwdriver to help remove the old cover. You need a gasket scraper and some brake cleaner to help clean things up. You're also going to need a 3/8-inch ratchet and a 1/2-inch socket and a healthy supply of paper towels, as well as an oil drain pan and an oil jug. Now we went ahead and pre-painted this cover right here with some high-temp black engine paint. We're going to show you how we did that next. Now the Rockcrusher Differential cover comes from the manufacturer with a rust-prohibiting film. Now we need to get that off of there before we paint it and install it on the truck. So to do that, just use some common brake cleaner and a bunch of rags. Spray it off and wipe it down. Now the cover's been cleaned inside and out with brake cleaner, I'm going to go ahead and elevate it on this can right here. I'm going to start putting some light coats of this high-temp engine paint on it. Going to throw on the second coat now. Now with this particular brand of engine paint, you want to apply 3 light coats about 10 minutes apart from each other. This is the last one. The first thing you need to do is take your drain pan, put it on top of some old newspaper, slide it underneath your pumpkin. Now on the front side of your differential right here is a fill plug. So grab a 3/8-inch ratchet and remove that plug. Using your 1/2-inch socket, remove all the bolts around the rear differential cover except for this one at the very top. Now when you get to this one with the service tag here, you can go ahead and remove that, but you should keep it because it does have important information that a service mechanic may need in the future. Now with all the bolts removed except for that one on the very top, you need to get behind it with a flat blade screwdriver and your hammer. You need to find a lip somewhere that you can kind of press against and try to get this to pop off. And this can be kind of difficult, so take your time and bang away. There it goes. Got our gear oil Niagara Falls going on here. Oh yeah. Good and stinky too. Now after you've let most of the oil drain out, go ahead and take off the cover. Then with your paper towels, clean up all the oil so it's not dripping. Now that the old cover is off and we've removed the drain pan, we've got to get this old seal off of here. So grab a gasket scraper, which is basically just a razor blade, and scrape it all off. Now grab some brake cleaner, put on some protective eyewear, and clean the old seal and around the differential itself. Now available at any auto parts stores is stuff called RTV, and it's a gasket maker. We don't have a gasket, so we need to make our own. So basically you just take this stuff and you create a little bit of a bead going all the way around. You want to go around the bolt holes. And then once this gets put back onto the truck, then it's going to turn into an instant gasket. Now that you've got your new RTV seal on, you want to put the diff cover back on using the top bolt. And you only have one shot at this, so be careful. Now we hit a little bit of a delay with these stock bolts here because they're too short for the new differential cover. So we had to make a run to the hardware store and pick up these longer ones. We need to get a dozen 5/16 by 1 inch coarse long bolts. So we're going to use these for the differential cover. Now we've got our new longer bolts in place. We want to crank them down to about 25 foot-pounds of torque alternating sides. So you want to start with the top one, then do the bottom one, then do the left and right, and so forth and so on. Now that we've got our new Rockcrusher cover on, it's time to put some new oil in it. We've got this royal purple synthetic oil here. Check your owner's manual to figure out how much you need and which weight you need. And see, it really is purple. You want to just hand tighten this until it stops. Now before you take your vehicle out for a test drive, you need to let it sit for about an hour. That's going to give the RTV instant gasket some time to cure. Now we did run into one snag with the bolt sizes being a little bit too short, but that was quickly solved by a trip to the hardware store. Well, that does it for this episode of Motorz. For more information on Rockcrusher Differential covers, head on over to rockcrusherdiffs.com. And for more information on Royal Purple, go to royalpurple.com. Now for more episodes of Motorz, head on over to www.motorz.tv and be sure to subscribe to our podcast on Apple iTunes and check us out on TiVo. I'm Chris Duke. Whoa! And that was weak. Pardon me. Excuse me. Pardon me. Oh, that's much better. You're gonna have oil all over the garage. Want to try two? Oh, backwards. .com. And for more information on Royal Purple.
You're doing so good too.
That does it for this episode of Motorz. For more information,